Hey guys, Nick here, and I've got Space Marine Steve beside me, and we are walking you through the basics of how to get started with 40K. We found two brand new people in the hobby that we are gonna guide through this process from building their first miniature, choosing their first army, and playing their first game.
We are going to give you another very quick synopsis of how they play, what they're like. Ready?
Go!
Hey everybody, this is Space Marine Steve from Play on Tabletop, and I'm so excited to welcome you into our studio today with...
Rahul Choose. Ultramarine Rahul Choose.
Ultramarine Roll. That's my thing.
No, you're Space Marine Steve, so I'm taking Ultramarine Choose.
I don't know if it gets that specific.
Rahultramarine.
Rahultramarine?
It spells out, it works. R-A-H-U-L-T-R, yeah, Ultramarine Chouse. You look really upset I just took your bit.
Feels like a stretch. Okay.
Warhammer kind of only represented one thing to me so far, which is the painting aspect of it. You get to a point where I think it's quite hard to dip your toe into the Warhammer swimming pool without eventually just diving in all the other kind of aspects.
You chose Ultramarines, you chose Space Marines.
Mm-hmm.
Tell me, what made you pick them?
The box art. I think when a world is that rich, you want something to cling on to, right? You need just a foothold, a foundation, and the Space Marines are so common. They're the flagship of that, of Warhammer. So that's why I started with it, but it doesn't necessarily mean that I'll stay with it. It's just, I just felt that it was a great foundation to hone in on and then figure out where I want to go from there.
My biggest advice for all of you is to do exactly what Rahul did here. Is a really good way to begin any army would be to find some kind of like starter pack. I'm gonna get you
Rahultramarine
to beat this.
That's a lot of miniatures.
That's a lot of miniatures. She outnumbers you, that is for sure. So we're gonna talk about
almost
how
double, right?
Rahultramarine.
I don't know why you're rejecting it.
You know, I wasn't a huge fan at the beginning, but I'm actually coming around.
You're warming to it.
I'm warming to it.
There you go.
I think at first it didn't roll off my tongue, but now it does.
It doesn't roll off anyone's tongue.
Hey, it's me, Rebecca, and I'm here to play and learn 40K.
I am excited to be your coach. I hope you're excited to learn this game.
I am very excited to be here, and thank you for being my coach.
Oh, that's exciting. I hope I don't steer you wrong.
The first time I ever heard about Warhammer was when I was living in Australia, walking around a mall. There was a game store that was hosting some kind of session that you could drop in and play a few rounds of this game. So I stood in line, went up to the table, got to take my turn, got told to move an army somewhere. I moved a couple places, rolled some more dice, and had no idea why I was doing it. Then after I walked out and never heard about Hammer War again.
So, why did you choose Tyranids?
I chose them because I wanted something that was scary and ugly and out of this world and ruthless. And I figured these fit the bill.
We're gonna try to prep you to face this. Face the Ultramarines, the poster boys, the Ultra Smurfs, the boys in blue. Just looking at this, kind of, what's your kind of sense? Does this feel fair?
I'm a little upset that I don't have a vehicle, but I do have somebody that can fly.
We've got the Tyranid Codex for you. We got the box set. You're actually gonna get to take this home today.
What?
Yes, this is for you to start your very own army.
Yes!
And we're gonna get.
This is amazing.
Let's go through your army here. All right, so first you have your Hive Tyrant. He's got wings, which means he can fly across the board.
Yeah.
During your turn, you can pick another unit that's within 12 inches of it and be able to make it reroll ones. So next up here, you have a unit of Tyranid Warriors. One of them is kitted out to be more close combat with more scything talons. One of them is kitted out with a Devourer, a short-range shooting weapon, and then one of them is equipped with your longest-range gun, a Venom Cannon. It is basically a 36-inch shot, so a good chunk of the board that you'll be able to shoot, but it's the only one you have. These two combined, they make sure that these guys don't run away. So if you have a unit of Termagants way over here, they're mindless beasts, they're too far away from Synapse. If they shoot them, some of them might run away.
Okay.
So keep them close to your leaders. Moving on to your troops, the core of your army is Termagants. You have 3 units of 10. They shoot 18 inches, not very far. Their gun is slightly stronger than how tough these guys are to kill, so it's actually a good weapon against Marines. And then lastly, you have a unit of Rippers. Tiny little bugs. They're not great damage dealers, but what they are great at doing is going to an objective marker, holding it, and often Often games revolve around taking and holding objective markers.
One of my goals of learning 40K is to be able to beat Steve. Steve and I go way back. We've actually been friends since university, and I think being able to lord this over him, he's been playing it for so long, and if I just come in and beat him this one time, then I'll say, I bet you regret introducing me to this world.
So one thing that's biggest difference between these two armies, he's got heavier armor, and he's also got longer range, better guns. Most of your guns are only about 18 inches long. So you're gonna have to do a lot of measuring to make sure that you are in the right range.
Okay.
Before we go further in this episode, our sponsor for this series is Wayland Games. They have a host of great deals and discounts on tabletop gaming, including 20% off of Games Workshop, Infinity, and Malvo. When you are starting 40K, well, you're gonna need your first hobby supplies, you're gonna need your first miniatures, and they might be the perfect place for you to go to.
Yeah. Huge selections, great deals.
They aren't just an online retailer, they also have a friendly local gaming center that holds regular events for Magic the Gathering, Flesh and Blood, Warhammer, Infinity, and much more. The Wayland Games hobby blog is full of the latest projects and competitions staff are taking part in. The staff's hobby and industry knowledge alongside their dedicated support team has helped Wayland achieve 30,000 plus reviews with a 4.9 stars on Trustpilot. A big thank you to Wayland Games for sponsoring this series, because without them, we wouldn't be able to do this series, so thank you to them, and make sure to check them out in the description below.
I'm obviously British and grew up in London, and I felt at the time there was a games workshop every few blocks. I was intrigued, but I just was way too intimidated to investigate further.
So let's walk you through exactly what is in your army.
Okay.
And then we're gonna talk a little bit about what that unit does, what it represents, and how it is gonna help you bring down Rebecca. I'm cheering for you, Rahul Marine, okay? I'm cheering for you. So first things first, the leader of your army is a Phobos lieutenant.
Okay.
So he's not a captain, a little bit lower in rank, but still all kinds of force multiplication goodness. Force multiplication means he is gonna make all of the guys around him better.
Okay.
Next, your infiltrators. Being troop choices, they have something called objective secured. While they're standing on an objective, another unit that doesn't have objective secured is on that same objective. They hold it even if they're outnumbered. A unit that I really do love, it includes a set of suppressors is what they're called.
Okay.
Meant for long range support fire.
Okay.
So they move around really, really quick. They've got like little jump packs.
So they're not strictly my snipers.
They're like a heavy weapons team.
Okay.
So the next unit inside the combat patrol box are the eliminators over here, and they're your sniper rifles.
If this range here was what, 48? What's theirs?
Their range is 36.
Oh, so it's shorter than that?
A little shorter than that.
Oh, okay.
But you know what? More than enough for the small board you're going to be playing on.
How do they fare against vehicles?
Not well.
Oh, okay.
Alrighty, so the last part of this and the last part of the combat patrol box, an impulsor. It's kind of like a space age El Camino.
Okay.
You can pile all your friends in this thing, hit the clubs, and have just a grand old time. So it has got a twin Sky Talon Iron Hail Heavy Stubber, which you'll have to say perfectly every time.
Where did you read that from?
My mind.
Very impressive.
It took me a sec. And then it also has two Storm Bolters. As it turns out, and this is not embarrassing, but we thought we had an impulsor, but we don't. Nick thought we had one, and Tak's like, no, why would you think that? That was an hour ago. There was not enough time to paint an impulsor. But this is the same size and same color and same chassis. It doesn't have all these impressive guns on it, but so we're gonna use this Gladiator over here as a proxy for the impulsor. Looking at the army then, what excites you here?
So my eye immediately goes to something like these. Like, gorgeous to look at, and they just look like they're gonna wreck. But it's the 48-inch damage. I think that's gonna feel real good.
48 inches
to
of
be able
range.
to just pull out that measuring tape, and we don't even need to really.
No, you don't.
We know we're gonna hit wherever we are.
Oh yeah, but still do it. I think that if I were to coach you to do anything, measure the range on these guys
Just
all
keep
the
doing
time.
it.
Just keep doing it. Even if Rebecca's like, you don't have to do this anymore. And
I
you're
like
just
that.
Like, I don't care. And you just keep pulling it out. Do the measuring tape thing again. Do it. Unlike Rebecca's force over here, where she's got just all of these little models, right? And she's only got kind of this one or two kind of elite units. Space Marines, they're all elites. They are like the cream of the crop. What that means is that every single piece is pretty expensive points-wise, because you use points to like pay for whatever units you're gonna use in the game, right? Because that's the case, all of this is super capable.
So this one Ultramarine is worth these 3.
Correct. So you are outnumbered 3-1.
But that's one way to look at it.
That's
Or
one way to look at it.
they are 1/3 of the man I am.
You better believe it. It is gonna feel like she's got a lot more, because she does.
Yeah.
What that also means though is that we have to be a little bit more careful.
I want to paint it.
You wanna paint it?
Yeah, it's awesome. I never painted one of these.
And funny enough, you are actually going to paint your own, because that right there,
Yeah.
we got for you. So you get to take that home today.
Really?
Really, really.
Oh, I thought you were just paying me in coffee.
So you're gonna be able to take home this, hobby with it, build it, and play it all after this.
Yeah.
I'm excited that you're excited. When we start the game, Nick over here, Nick is a really aggressive player. He's likely gonna tell Rebecca to just like, yeah, put everything right on the line and just run for it. And so, what I'm gonna tell you to do is to be a little bit more cautious.
This is a mismatch, because I would want to put them all on the line and go straight for Nick.
Don't do that.
Aggression versus
don't do that.
aggression.
Don't do that.
No,
Don't do that.
blood
No.
for the blood god.
You raise a good point, and sometimes, you know, a hammer is good for what a hammer is good for, but Ultramarines in the lore are very flexible, and they can look at any situation and wheel in whatever tactic is the most effective. Sometimes being that aggressive is the most effective tactic. With that being said, going toe to toe with this thing is not a plan.
Okay.
You need to, like, as we said, find every excuse to do that tape measure thing, use your range and whittle her away as she's running towards you. And then hopefully when she makes it to you, you'll be able to just push her over.
Gotcha.
So I think that is gonna be our battle plan. But of course, you're your own person. I can coach you. What you do is what you do.
Hammer them.
Okay, this
Obliterate them.
It's over.